There are 3 easy steps in creating your resume link. Let me show you how.
Step 1. Register. Go to www.jobs180.com using any browser and click Register Now. Fill out all the information needed. In choosing your resume link, use your full name so that it looks professional and it's easy to recall by potential employers. For example, Antonio Juan de la Cruz.jobs180.com. Step 2. Create and design. When creating your resume, make sure to complete your personal information and upload your profile picture. One of the highlights of the resume link is the portfolio section. In the portfolio section, you can show off your skills by uploading samples of your work like documents, pictures, videos, and your social media links.
Your resume link also features different themes and you can upload a cover photo. This is a combination of a cover letter and a social network cover photo. Here is an example. You can also download a copy of your resume link and print it. Step 3. Apply for a job. There are many ways to apply with your resume link.
First is browsing the job recommendations in your Jobs 180 dashboard.
If you're qualified, click Submit Resume Link. So what are you waiting for? Dress up your next generation resume, stand out brightly among the competitive job seekers in the market, and win the heart of your future employers using Resume Link.
At a time when customers are demanding more value more rapidly, you need a transformation partner that can help make your customer experience your competitive differentiator. For years, RRD Go has been helping companies reinvent how they do business and reimagine how customers connect with their brand. Our customized solutions, deep industry expertise, and highly skilled global talent pool empower clients across every industry. We elevate customer engagement with targeted, interactive, and compelling omni-channel communications, and leverage tech-driven solutions to reimagine customer interactions and accelerate your transformation agenda. Our digital and workflow solutions generate actionable insights, enhance organizational flexibility, and simplify transactions. We harness the power of next-level technologies to bring new solutions to life. Everything from automation and data visualization to AI, AR, and beyond. By combining best-in-class, forward-looking technologies with some of the industry's best forward-thinking minds, we can help take your customer experience beyond what you thought was possible. Discover how. Visit rrd.com/go today.
Good morning, students. I am Vixie, the automated recruitment assistant of VXI, and I am here to answer your questions about our company. Hi, I have a question. Does VXI accept fresh graduates? Definitely. We accept fresh graduates, and you can apply via walk-in process at all our recruitment hubs. Jumpstart your career with us here at VXI. Is it really true that it is a one-day processing before you get hired? Absolutely. Here at VXI, you can get hired within the same day. Perks, benefits, and a great working environment await you here. We have decided that all of us will be applying tomorrow at VXI. See you there, Vixie!
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Jobs180.com's 2025 Marketing Me Live with Cebu Normal University. And today, we will be joined by speakers from Jobs180.com and Synchrony. But before we start, may we invite everybody for the opening prayer to be followed by singing of our Philippine National Anthem and CNU hymns.
Let us bow our heads and put ourselves in the presence of the Lord. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for gathering all of us today. We thank you for the gift of life and strength that you have provided us all to be part of this endeavor. We seek your forgiveness for our wrongdoings, as we have forgiven those who have done us wrong. May you bestow your guidance and blessings so that we can enjoy and appreciate its significance in our lives. Bless everyone who is present here today. May each one of us be able to share our knowledge, understanding, and wisdom for your glory and honor. May the various activities related to this event be a success through your intervention. All these we ask through your name. Amen.
Panahon na ng pagbabago, dalisay ko'y kinakailangan. Tayo na magtulong-tulong, kapag-ulain ang mahal na
Panahon na ng pagbabago, dahil sa ito ay kinakailangan tayo na magtulong-tulong, napaunlarin ang mahal nating bayan.
panahon na magbabago, ayos ang mga dapat ayusin. Dapat lang maging tungkulin ng bawat mamamayan dito sa atin.
Ng pagbabago patungo sa pag-asenso, magsikap ng mabuti at nang kuminhawa tayo. Bagong malaki natin sa mundo at ipamalas ang bagong Pilipino at bagong Pilipinas. Kagandahan at talento makipagpaligsahan dahil anong oras ang bagong Pilipino at bagong Pilipinas. Panahon pagbabago ay natin ay gawing maaliwalas. Marami ang magandang bukas, bunga ng bagong Pilipinas. Panahon na.
Great Cebu Normal University, smart, agile, ingenuity. We stand to continue your legacy. From humble roots to crimson and gold, golden journey we behold. Amidst long-lived Cebu, bare and borrowed walls, cold bloodshed and strife pursue, our alma mater molded and grew. Great Cebu Normal University, smart, agile, ingenuity. We stand to continue your legacy. From humble roots to crimson and gold, golden journey we behold. As we look ahead with courage and strong, we carry your legacy along. Future-proof, equipped, ready to lead. In this great world we plant the seed. Great Cebu Normal University, smart, agile, ingenuity. We stand to continue your legacy. From humble roots to crimson and gold, golden journey we behold. Every milestone we celebrate, leaders of tomorrow we create. Foreseeing you, every heart we mold. Our anthem sings, hail the golden journey.
So good afternoon, magandang hapon, and maayong adlaw sa tanan. Is everyone ready for today's event? I hope you all are. By the way, I am your host for today. I am John Suarez, and I am from jobs180.com. And we are live again via jobs180.com Facebook and jobs180.com YouTube. So we hope that everybody is as excited as I am to learn new things today. So for our audience today, please comment your name, your year, and your course. And if you have questions later on, please type them in so we can answer them after the talk. Take note that the question and answer portion will happen after each speaker's presentation. So don't forget to tag and share this to your friends, especially for those of you who are not yet here, mention them in the comment section. So here is our schedule for today. Our first topic is job applications using Resumelink with jobs180.com, to be followed by building an innovative mindset and maximizing the best of both worlds. A subtitle, challenges and expectations of working in a hybrid setup by Synchrony. So wow, we surely have great topics for today, and I bet everyone is excited and ready to listen to our speakers today. But again, shout out to everyone who is already here na, and for those classmates and schoolmates who are not yet here, tell them to come and watch our webinar, because we will sure be learning lots of things that we are going to need when we enter the world of work. Again, don't forget to comment your name, your year, and of course, your course. So as we go along, type in your question so we can read it later. Sabi nga ni Susan Roses, huwag mahihiyang magtanong. So this is your chance to ask before you face the world of work. And if naulaw mo mangutana kay dili mo ganahan mag-Tagalog, mag-English, feel free to type them in Bisaya, because I think I can be able to translate that later on. So let me introduce to you our first speaker. But to our audience, just sit back, relax, and let us all hashtag learn together as I introduce to you our first speaker. So our first speaker will be discussing job applications using Resumelink. So he has 20 years of experience in sales, marketing, business development, customer service, operations, business process, and human resources. As a trusted resource speaker, he has done over 1,000 of career development seminars in more than 400 plus colleges and universities nationwide. So let us all welcome the Managing Director of Jobs180.com, Mr. Kim Chua. Sir Kim, take it away.
So hi everyone, good day to all of you. My name is Kim Chua. Don't forget the wa, baka Kim Chu lang maalala nyo. And I'm here to share to you about the most secure tool for job application. This is how you can market yourself more effectively and the different ways to do that. Okay, so let me start. Now, when you apply, you probably have a checklist if you're using the right tool. So just go along with me if you have the right, if you have the same checklist that I have. So ito yung mga things na like kong tinatandaan, no? Will my tool or will the thing that I'll be using help me to stand out? That's the first item that is very important for me. Kailangan mag-stand out ako kasi dami-dami kong kasabayan kalaban sa pag-apply. Another thing in my checklist is that, do I have more than one file? Because oftentimes I have a lot of files. May academic records, may mga government IDs, ang dami yung mga kailangan hingiin ng mga companies. So I'd like to put them all in one file. And this tool helps me to do that. Okay? Another thing that this tool can do is that it allows me to make the process more efficient. Mas napapabilis yung pag-apply, no? Hindi na napapatagal yung pabalik-balik. So, mas mabilis din syempre tayo maka-move forward. Diba? And another thing that this tool can do is that wala tong bayad. Mukha lang akong salesman, pero libre po ito. Okay? So, this tool is absolutely for free. The most important in my checklist is that this tool, okay, makes my information secured. And I think this is the most important question. Do you want your information to be secured? I hope your answer is yes. Okay? And so with that, let me show you ano tong tool na ito. This tool is called Resumelink. Resumelink, by definition, is the most secured tool for job application. Okay? This is a personalized URL. It is a link that anyone can open online anytime, provided that they know the link. So let me use an example. If you are John Santos, just in case lang, your name is John Santos, your resume link would look something like johnsantos.jobs180.com. Ganun lang kasimple. So how do you make one? Okay, how do you make one? Now, the first step is for you to register. This is absolutely for free. Wala itong bayad. Okay? So what do? You go to www.jobs180.com, and that is where you now register. Okay? As you register, you just simply fill out the information. These are the basic information. You have the account details, you have your personal information, you have your education background, and just in case you have your work experience, whether it's OJT or it's part-time job or whatever yung work experience na yan, then you proceed to that work experience page. Pero pag wala, hanggang dyan na lang tayo sa may education information. Okay? After doing so, you now start to create your resume link. So ano ba ang basihan ng resume link? Kadalasan, ang resume link natin, we base it on our name. We base it on our unique name. Okay, so as an example, if you're John Santos, then you say johnsantos.jobsonit.com. Now, what about during scenarios where you create your resume link tapos may nauna sa inyo? May ibang John Santos, may kapangalan ka, no, nauna sa inyo. Ano mangyayari? Magkakaroon na red na box. Sasabihin niya, this name has already been taken. Now, okay, malungkot pag taken na. Okay lang, maging creative lang kayo ng konti. Pwede mo balik na rin. Pwede mo sabihin Santos John. Okay, you can also say Santos J, o kaya J Santos, o kaya JS, di ba? Or SJ. Depende sa link na gusto mo gawin. Basta importante, wala kang pareho kahit kayo may kapangalan. Now, another thing I'd like to emphasize here, wag po kayong OA. Pag gumawa kayo ng resume link, huwag mo gagawin tipong nakalagay, cutie pie, lover boy, Barbie doll, di ba? Because it doesn't sound professional. Imagine going to a company and the HR will ask you, do you have a resume? Tapos sasabihin mo sa kanya, meron po, ang resume ay eljablo.jobsonit.com. Di ba? Baka matakot yung HR sa inyo. So I don't recommend that you do something like that. Just stick to your name. Whatever your name is, it will sound professional. Okay? Now, in creating a resume link, you have to use a valid email. Emails like Yahoo, Gmail, Rocketmail, any email, basta nabubuksan nyo, wag na wag ka lang gagamit ng facebook.com na email. Okay? Do not use something like, example lang patrick@facebook.com na email. Do not use patricia@facebook.com na email. Okay? In short, do not use @facebook.com na email. Because if you use @facebook.com, you will no longer be able to receive notifications being sent to you by the companies as well as jobs180.com. Okay? So use something that you can open. Why is it important for you to open your email? Because you have to verify your account. Okay? Remember, pag nag-verify, yan ang ebidensya na ikaw nag-register talaga. Yan ang proof. Diba? And at the same time, if you verify your account, then you'll be receiving notifications from the companies as well as Jobs on 80. If you do not verify your account, hindi nyo na po marireceive yung mga notification ng mga companies. So, sayang naman, di ba? Might as well verify your account first. Okay? Now, you're done with the first step after you verify. So, ano na ang second step? Ang second step is the most logical of all the steps. You have to complete all the information. Very logical. Sino sa inyo mag-apply sa mga kumpanya, bungi-bungi detalye? Sino sa inyo magbibigay ng resume sa mga HR tapos kulang-kulang details nyo? I don't think you'll do that because you're just wasting your time. Instead, kumpletuhin yung information nyo bago kayo mag-submit dun sa mga companies. Okay? So, step 2, complete the information. And how do you do that? Punta kayo ulit dun sa website, www.jobs180.com, and this time, you don't need to register again kasi may account ka na eh. What you need to do is you have to log in. Okay? Now, as you log in, you start to put your registered email or your resume link and then your password. Na ikaw lang may alam. Okay? Ganun lang siya kasimple. Now, once you're inside your account, you start to fill in the blanks. Ganun lang kasimple. Fill in the blanks. So, the things that you see here, yung mga contents, napakasimple lang. Yung mga personal details nyo, lagay mo dyan. Diba? All the information na sa tingin nyo relevant, you put it there. Now, I have some emphasis lang on items na madalas na may-miss out ito ng mga aplikante. Ano yung mga yon? Sa contact information, you have to put here all the possible ways na pwede ka makontak ng isang HR. Kagaya ng social media handles nyo. Ba't ko nasabi yan? Because in reality is, pag tinatawagan kayo ng mga HR, madalas hindi naman ina-answer eh. Lalo na pag hindi nyo kilala, pag nag-ring yung phone nyo, hala, sino kaya ito? Di ba, hindi mo kilala. Ano gagawin? Hahayaan mo na lang. Di ba? Antayin mo kung may mag-message sa inyo. Eh, paano kung yung HR hindi naman hindi masipag mag-message? Masipag lang siya magtawag. That's why I recommend you put here all the possible means na pwede ka makontak. Kagaya ng social media nyo. Put your Facebook there, yung mga messenger nyo, mga Twitter nyo, iba pang mga paraan, social media handles para mabilis kayo ma-reach out. Diba? Message na lang. Are you available Thursday, 10 a.m., so on and so forth. You get what I'm saying? Diba? So lahat ng paraan, lagay mo dyan. What else do you put here? You also put here yung inyong mga work options. Sa work options naman, you just choose lang, parang yes or no lang yan, parang switch, no? Kung ano yung mga options na gusto ninyo, no? Willing to work night shift, willing to relocate, looking for OJT, you can also put it here. Okay? And then in terms of education, obvious naman, yung alma mater nyo, lagay nyo dito. Diba? Yung mga pampakapal ng resume, sa seminars attended, kahit magkopyahan pa kayo ng mga classmates mo, okay lang. Basta lang make sure, alam nyo na pag-usapan doon sa seminar na yon. Pagdating sa certification, ganun din yan. Walang limit sa space yan. Achievements, recommend ko dito is you don't only put yung mga achievement nyo inside the school. Okay? Kasi hindi naman lahat tayo academically inclined. Some of us are not very active sa school, pero active tayo sa mga social civic organization. Diba? So, even if it's outside of the school, you can also put it there. As long as you think it is an achievement, you put it there. Okay? Now, in terms of skills and languages, isa-isahin ko lang yan ha. Sa skills, do not limit your skills dyan lang sa course nyo. Hindi perkat education ng course mo, ang ibig sabihin, ang skills na alam mo lang ay magturo. Hindi perkat accounting ang course mo, ang alam mo lang gawin or ang skills mo ay mag-debit, credit at mag-balance sheet. Diba? So, marami kang alam na iba pang mga skills na kahit walang connect sa course, you can also put it here. Sample, photography, diba? Videography, diba? And all the other things, calligraphy, pwede mo ilagay dyan. Okay? When it comes to languages, I'm sure alam nyo, 2 lengguwahe na. At the minimum, you know English and you know Filipino. If you know local dialect, to be specific, lagi mo Tagalog, Sabacano, Bisaya, Kapampangan, 'di ba? Ilonggo, wala naman limit sa space eh. 'Di ba? If you know foreign languages, put it there. Chinese, Japanese, French, Vietnamese, kung ano man 'yan, ilagay nyo. Because what you're doing is you're trying to market yourself more effectively to the prospective company. Now, when it comes to references, sigurado naman ako yung mga references nyo, kilala nyo. Ang tanong lang dyan, kayo ba kilala nila? Kasi madalas pag tinatawagan namin yung mga references nyo, hindi kayo maalala. Yung pinakamalupit dyan, hindi talaga kayo kilala. Okay, so please advise yung mga references nyo na ginawa nyo silang reference para at least they know what to tell about you. Okay? Now, at this point, I'd like to highlight yung mga things that you don't find in a traditional resume. Ano yung mga yan? Diba? Ito yung mga yun. Let me start with the portfolio section. The portfolio section is where you now upload evidence of your skills. And I think with this day and age, dito pumapasok yung efficiency ng ating application sa mga companies. Because oftentimes, when we apply to companies, marami mga hinihingi, mga pre-employment requirements. They will ask for mga documents, mga proof that is showing na yun talaga yung mga skills nyo. So, kung ano man meron yung mga documents, you can now take a picture, you can scan them, and you can upload it here. Example, government IDs. Diba? Meron ka mga transcripts, academic records. Diba? You can put that there. Okay? Kung meron mga medical clearance na kailangan, ganun din. Hindi na kailangan magpabalik-balik sa company. Oh, ayos ba? Oh, eto pa. Diba? But wait, there's more. Ito na yun. Itong isa pang gusto ko i-recommend sa inyo, yung tinatawag natin selfie video. Nowadays, I think, it is not very difficult to create a selfie video. Diba? Ito may TikTok nga kayo eh. Diba? Alam mo naman paano gumawa ng selfie video. So I don't need to teach you how to create a selfie video. What I need to share to you na lang is yung anong kailangan sabihin pagka gumawa ka ng selfie video. Okay, this time, what I recommend is you say something interesting about yourself. Okay? So, you pretend that you're being interviewed by the HR. Diba? Ano yung mga tinatanong sa atin? Why should we hire you? Diba? Tell me something about yourself. Why should we consider you among all the other applicants? O, diba? Ang kagandahan ngayon is you create that video for about 1 minute or less. Hindi kailangan sobrang haba. No? Mga 1 minute lang or less. Pero ang maganda rito is na-evaluate na nung HR yung inyong communication skills. If you can speak in English, then I recommend you speak in straight English. But if you cannot, it's okay as long as you're able to show your personality. You can also showcase here yung mga hard skills nyo. Ano yung mga hard skills? Kagaya ng mga video na panood ko dati, pinakita nila how to use a soldering iron, how to properly handle a welding machine, diba? How to fold table napkins. O, ganun, diba? So, depende ko ano yung mga skills na alam mo at depende ko ano yung nasa field mo rin, diba? Na napag-aralan, diba? So, gusto mo magpakita ka paano mag-balance sheet, pwede rin. O, diba? Again, it really depends on what you wanted to show dun sa HR. Ang point is, you don't need to travel back and forth para lang ipakita on the spot dun sa HR yung inyong hard skills. And, most importantly, hindi na kailangan magkaroon ng maraming aberya, maraming storbo. Diba? Sometimes, when we try to contact you for the phone interview, maingay yung background, hindi marinig. Diba? Mahina signal, maingay, ano nangyari, nasa biyahe, diba? Or sometimes hindi magtugma yung schedule. At least with that selfie video, it makes the process now more efficient. Now, another good thing with the Resumelink is that you also upload here your profile picture. When it comes to profile picture, you don't need to go to the studio para magpa-picture. Huwag ka na gumastos. Ang importante lang dyan, tumingin ka sa camera, okay, with plain background, at of course, magbihis ka naman ng maayos, diba? And then, you're good to go. Huwag mo gagawin yung mga nasa right side ng screen niyo. Those samples that I'm showing you, it doesn't look professional. Imagine, di ba, yung mga selfie, mga nilagay ng avatar, yan, huwag nyo gawin yan. Okay? Huwag nyo gawin yan. It doesn't look nice, doesn't look professional. Okay? Now, another good thing with the Resumelink is that meron tayong tinatawag na cover photo. Ayan, pasintabi sa matatamaan. May iba sa inyo nakikinig ngayon, hindi naman kayo gifted with writing skills. Some of us are having a difficult time expressing our thoughts and feelings into words. So ano pwede mo gawin? You can now use those pictures to represent your personality or to showcase yung inyong skills. Example, look at the one on the left, yung nasa baba. Ano kaya siya? Sabi ni iba, sir, ophthalmologist, optometrist, or eye expert. Yung nasa kanan, yung nasa taas, ano kaya siya? Sabi ni iba, sir, para siyang admin or clerical work. Or maybe makalat kasi tingnan mo yung lamesa ang kalat-kalat. O, di ba? Again, it depends on the interpretation of the person looking at it. This is an example of someone into HR or maybe into psychology. And this one is an example, it's a very good example by the way, of someone who wanted to say that there is no shortcut to success. Hindi po yan miyembro na Akit Bahay Gang. Okay? Ang gusto niya sabihin, you will be able to reach yung goal mo by taking one step at a time. Oh, di ba? You get what I'm saying now. So I'm showing you good examples para you can draw inspiration from. And I will also show you not so good examples. Ito yung wag niyong gagayahin. Huwag kayong magpapaka-misteryoso. Okay? Maglagay ka ng picture mo dyan. Lalaki man, babae in between, okay lang. Ilagay mo dyan. Member man tayo ng LGBTQ+, okay lang. You put it there. At least alam ng HR who to expect. A lot of times, yung mga pangalan kasi very interchangeable nowadays. Ako mismo, guilty ako dyan. My name is Kim. A lot of people think babae ako, di ba? Eh, pag iba nababasa ko mga resume, ano nakalagay sa resume nila? Chris, nakalagay George, Alex, Sam, Nick, di ba? Joey. I would assume lalaki. Yun pala, babae. O, di ba? That's why you better make sure you put your picture there. And wag naman pugot yung ulo nyo pag nilagay ng picture. Dapat kompleto. Okay? Never leave this blank because if you leave this blank, it will not catch the HR's attention. Trust me. Kung ikaw ang HR, wala ka namang ibang makita dyan, malamang mangyayari dito, next applicant na. Okay? And then if you want to catch the HR's attention, do not create something like this. This is just my opinion. I don't think this looks professional kasi ang dating parang tamad, parang happy-go-lucky, no? Parang chill-chill, walang pakialam sa buhay. Again, that is just my interpretation. Okay? So I showed you the good and not so good examples para you'll be guided. Now you can just play along later on kung anong sa tingin nyo mas bagay sa inyong background or sa inyong sa gusto niyo ipakita sa personality niyo. Okay? Now let's examine a very good example. Look at this person, itong eye expert. Bakit maganda itong example ng kanyang resume link? Because all the information you're seeing here, kompleto na. 'Di ba? Hindi ka na magpabalik-balik eh. Kung ikaw yung HR, everything that you need to ask or you want to know about the applicant, you already find it here. If you're the applicant, you might as well put everything there para wag mo na antayin pa yung time na hihingiin pa sa ng HR yung mga documents yan. Baka hindi na mangyari yun. Baka may ibang aplikante na mas assertive, nilagay lahat ng mga information na i-process na siya kaagad. Diba? Now, at this point, I know what you're thinking. You're probably thinking, sir, okay nga tong resume link. Kaso lang, baka naman yung information ko nakakalat na sa buong mundo. Baka naman nakalantad na sa buong internet. Ang sagot ay, hindi. Kaya nga tinawag na the most secure tool for your job application. Diba? Bakit? Because you control your privacy settings. Ikaw mismo, as an account user or as a resume link owner, ikaw ang may control ng privacy settings mo. And how will that happen? When you log into your dashboard, as you can see in my screen, when you log into your dashboard, you will find the resume link settings. Pagpunta mo sa settings, mapuntahan mo yung privacy settings at doon ka mamili ngayon ng information you want to show or hide in public. So let me use an example. If you don't want to show your birthday, what do? You turn it off. You don't want to show your references, you turn it off. You don't want to show your address, what do? Turn it off. Diba? So yung mga information na in-off mo, hindi lalabas sa public. Now, if ever lang you decide to change your mind, ang maganda dito sa resume link, updated yan, real time. As in real time. So 5 minutes later, you want to share your birthday, turn it on. What happens? Lahat ng mayroong alam ng resume link mo, alam na niya yung birthday mo. Diba? If 2 days later, you want to share your address, you turn it on, you save your profile, lahat ng may alam ng resume link mo, alam na rin yung inyong address. You get what I'm saying? Diba? So, depende na sa inyo kung ano gusto mo i-on or i-off. If you want to turn off everything, then okay lang. You can just turn off the button. Enable public resume link, off. Wala nang lalabas sa public. Kahit na anong information. Okay? So, yan ang re-remind ko sa inyo. This, the second step is for you to complete the information. And in doing so, please make sure that your profile is interesting, diba? Yung information mo kompleto at updated ang details nyo para mabilis kayo makontak ng mga HR. Now, we go to the last step. Pangatlo na, last step na to. The last step is for you to submit. Now, how will you submit your resume link to those companies? You might be thinking you want to explore opportunities outside of the Philippines. Maybe you want to join some job fairs later on. You want to apply online. You want to, marami, walk-ins, diba? Depende kung ano kasi bumabalik na yung face-to-face ngayon. So, lahat ng mga ipapakita ko sa inyo, lahat ito, practical application. Lahat yan, makaka-relate kayo. Ano yung first one? The first one is you go online. Of course, Diba? Yun ang fastest way. You just connect via your phone, via kung ano man gadget mo, go to jobs180.com, search for companies. And by the way, speaking of search, you can only search for company, tatlo lang pwede mo i-search ha. Search for company name, position title, and location. Doon sa search bar, hindi mo pwede ma-search ang resume link. So example lang, ikaw si John Santos, okay? Okay, ikaw si, ako na lang, Kim, halimbawa lang, subukan mo pumunta sa jobs180.com, doon sa search bar, type mo doon Kim. Tingnan mo kung may lumabas. Malamang sa malamang, walang lalabas. Unless may company name, position title, or location na may word na Kim. Other than that, walang lalabas dyan. Kasi hindi siya searchable. So, the only time a company would be able to know your information is if and when you give your exact resume link to that company. So, ikaw may control. Ayos? So, tuloy natin. Okay, tuloy natin. So, if you're going to search for companies, what do? Just go to the website of jobs180.com, search for companies. Kung may lumabas, edi meron. Pag walang lumabas, edi wala. Diba? Ganun lang yan. Huwag natin pilitin magkaroon ng something kung wala talaga. Diba? Okay, so ano gagawin? Tingnan mo yung mga companies. Kung meron kang type, edi gawin nyo, check nyo yung opportunities. After that, you now submit your information to that company. Okay, when you submit your information to the company, it will ask for your profile, for your resume link and password. So ikaw lang magbibigay ng consent dun sa company. Okay? Now another option is for you to send resumes via email. Now there's nothing wrong in sending resumes through email. Ang tanong dito is, how are you sending your resumes through email? Do you do it like this? Do you say, "Dear HR manager, I'd like to apply for the following position. This is my resume." Tapos mag-attach ka ng Word file, PDF file, or whatever file you have. If you're doing those attachments pa, ang tawag dyan, traditional, pampabagal, makaluma. Hindi ko sinabing mali. Ang sabi ko lang, traditional, pampabagal, makaluma. Bakit? Hindi mo kailangan mag-attach anything anymore. If you're going to write an email and send your resume, just simply type your resume link there. "Dear HR manager, I would like to apply for the following position. This is my resume. In this example, Antonio Juan de la Cruz, jobs180.com. Send. Tapos na. Ganun lang kabilis. Diba? Whatever changes you need to do, you put it inside your resume link. You don't have to keep on sending another attachment. Paano kung imagine mo na lang, nag-attach ka ng Word file. Diba? Ng PDF file. Tapos nagpalit ka ng address, nagpalit ka ng phone number. Ano gagawin mo? Email mo na may HR. "Dear HR manager, I'm sending you my updated resume." Ganun ba? Paano kung 2 months later, lumipat ka ng bahay, iba na address mo, send ka ulit ng bagong resume? "Dear HR manager, I'm sending you my updated, most recent resume." I don't think you'll do that. Kasi kung ganun ang ginagawa mo, sayang sa oras siya, nakakapagod sa part mo, lalong-lalo naman sa part ng HR, mas nakakapagod to keep track kung saan dyan yung pinaka-updated na attachment or pinaka-updated na resume ng aplikante. And this time around, if you have your resume link, all you need to do is just update your resume link at lahat na may alam ng resume link mo, makikita nila yung pinaka-real-time update ng profile or information. Ayos ba? Ayos ba? Sige, another one. For those who wanted to use a hard copy, gusto mo talaga may hard copy ka, when you apply to those companies, you want to give something, then this is also possible. What do? You go to your dashboard inside your job seeker account, then you can print your resume link. Mamili ka lang, 1 column or 2 column version. Either way, the system will try to compress everything into 1 page. O diba? Maginhawa sa buhay. So kung gusto mo talaga mag-apply sa mga kumpanya, hindi mo na kailangan mag-prepare ng maraming mga pages. Minsan, di ba, yung mga aplikante, mga 2-3 pages ang isang set ng resume. Palibasa, yung font size 45. Kaya umaabot ng 2-3 pages. O, diba? Pero this time, the system will try to compress everything na into 1 page. Just in case you really want to have a hard copy. O, diba? Tipid. Okay? Another thing pa for me to encourage you to do is you use resume link cards. Resume link cards. Ano tong resume link card? Kung sa mga nagtatrabaho na, tawag namin business card. Sa mga nag-a-apply, tawag dyan, resume link card. So in one piece of paper, whether short bond or long bond paper, you can now design it your own way. You can design it, depende kung ano ang gusto mo, pagiging creativity mo. Ikaw bahala. You can make 10, 20 sets of cards. Depende sa laki or liit. Diba? Kasi laki ng index card or kasi liit lang ng mga normal business cards natin. Diba? So, depende. So, maybe in one long bond paper, you can make 10, 20 sets of cards na. And so, after you have it printed out, pwede ka na ngayon maggupit-gupit. Gupit-gupit na lang. Diba? 10 or 20, bawat kumpanya, you can now start to give that as a hard copy. Hard copy pa rin naman yan eh. But this time, why am I encouraging you to use resume link cards instead of the traditional long bond or short bond paper? Bakit? Una-una, tipid. Diba? Because of course, right now, eto, tipid. Kasi if you're going to apply to 20 companies, you don't need to print 20 sets of long bond papers. You just need to print one long bond paper and cut 20 small pieces of resume link cards. O, diba? That's for the cost side. Tipid na. Pangalawa, at mas importante, security of information. Diba? You want to have peace of mind. Paano ko nasabi yan? Kapag ikaw yung nagbigay sa isang kumpanya ng long bond paper or short bond paper, example lang, no? It's a traditional resume. And for some reason, nilipad ng hangin. Okay? Nilipad ng hangin. Hindi mo kasalanan. Kasalanan ng hangin eh. Diba? May nakapulot na stranger. May nakapulot na stranger. All your information, alam na nung stranger. Tama? And you cannot deny it because you know what I'm saying is true. Diba? Hindi mo kilala pero alam niya yung details mo. Now, using your resume link card, same scenario. Nagbigay ka ng resume link card sa company, nilipad ng hangin ngayon. May na stranger na nakapulot, okay lang. Bakit? Kampante ka. Kasi yung resume link, ikaw may control ng privacy settings mo. That's why, in your resume link card, what I recommend, you just simply put your name and your resume link. Dalawa lang. That's it. If you want to put your mobile number, it's okay. It's up to you. You can put it there. Diba? Pero ang point ko is, resume link, pwede na siya makita ng mga HR or mga companies na bibigyan mo. Diba? So you have peace of mind now. Okay? So there's a lot of advantages using resume links. In fact, dun pa lang sa privacy portion, panalong-panalo ka na. Ikaw ang may control ng privacy settings mo real time. Pagdating sa speed of hire, it becomes faster and more efficient because whatever you want to show the HR, you just attach it there. Whatever the HR needs from you, they just ask from you. Diba? You take a picture, you scan them, upload it there, and later on, pag okay na, you now turn off yung privacy settings mo. Diba? Or you can remove them in the attachments. Diba? Cost efficient, definitely wala tong gastos, tipid. Diba? If you're thinking, ay sir, paano po yung internet, kailangan ng pang-load? Pwede ka maging resourceful. Connect lang tayo sa mga libreng wifi. O, diba? And then, pagdating sa flexibility, if you really want to have it printed out, yung inyong resume, you also have the option to print it out. That's like how I showed it to you, 1 column or 2 column version. Either way, it's really up to you. Pero ang point ko is, resume link na lahat yan. Okay? And you can use this to any platform, whatever platform you want to share it to. You want to share it sa mga messenger nyo, you want to share it sa email, sa Viber, sa text, diba? Gusto mo, kaya ko bahala. Diba? Gusto mo, sulat mo sa papel, tapos gawa ka ng airplane, palipad mo, diba? May nakakuha, alam niya yung resume link mo. Ikaw bahala. Okay? Ikaw may control kung sino ang gusto mo bigyan. Okay? You don't have to use your USBs anymore. You don't have to save it sa hard drive. Baka mawala pa yung USB nyo. Delikado. Diba? Wag na. Baka kung ano pa makita ng mga nakakapulot ng mga USB na yan. Okay? So you don't need to worry about compatibility as well because this is compatible to any platform. If you're using Android, you're using Safari, kung ano magamit mo, pwede yan sa kahit anong version. Okay? And so, just to promote lang, if you want to be part of our team, we're also hiring. Mismo sa jobs180.com, we're hiring for several opportunities, several vacancies yan. Check out na lang yung aming jobs180.com/jobs180 na page. Okay? And by the grace of God, shout out lang ako, right now we have more than 400 plus colleges and university partners nationwide, from north all the way to the south of the Philippines. Thank you, Lord. O, diba? Ang kinalat namin, hindi lang virus. Biro lang. Kinalat namin resume link. Yan ang kinalat natin. So, a lot of schools now, including your alma mater, are now using the resume link. So, I hope it doesn't stop here. No? You become a blessing to others as well. If you have friends, you have yung mga relatives mo, na sa tingin mo kailangan nitong tool na ito, you can share it to them. Wala namang bayad eh. Libre naman yan. Okay? And so, as we close this portion, I'd like to discuss some of the frequently asked questions. Baka ito yung mga agam nyo or ito yung mga questions na gusto nyo tanungin. Sagutin ko na muna. Okay? Unang tanong, can I give my resume links to companies who do not know about jobs180.com? The answer is absolutely yes. Basta alam nila eksaktong link mo at ikaw may control sino bibigyan mo nun. Ikaw lang ang magbibigay. Diba? So, ikaw lang may alam sino binigyan mo. Okay? Now, second question. Is it the same as other job platform, kagaya ng JobStreet, LinkedIn, or any other job site? The answer is no. May dalawang pagkakaiba. And let me use an example here. Let me do a shout out to JobStreet, no? Because I think you guys know what JobStreet is. So, shout out lang to them sa mga nasa JobStreet. If you're using JobStreet na resume, you can only apply to companies who are using JobStreet. If you're applying to a company who is not using JobStreet, you cannot use your JobStreet resume anymore. Pero pag gamit mo yung resume link mo, pwede mo yung gamitin kahit na saan, kahit na kanino, kahit na anong platform. Diba? Basta alam ng HR yung exactong link mo at ikaw magbibigay nun. That's the first difference. Second difference, if you have already submitted your JobStreet resume to an HR, you cannot change anything anymore. Well, you can on your end, but it will not be reflected on the HR. Hindi siya magiging real-time update. Comparing it to resume link, ni Jobs 180, you can update it real time. 2 days later, 5 minutes later, 6 weeks later, ikaw bahala, anytime nag-update ka ng information, lahat na in-update mo, dagdag bawas, will be reflected real time across all na may alam ng resume link mo. Okay? So those are the two major differences. Now, pagdating sa pangatlong question, yan ang pinaka-simpleng tanong. Can I keep my information secured? I hope by this time na-convince ko na kayo na ito na ang pinaka-secured na job application platform. Okay? So, use your resume link. Number 4 question, I think, is the most important question. How often should you update your resume link? The answer is every time. Every time na meron kang babaguhin. Okay? Every time na meron kang babaguhin. Lalong-lalo na yung contact details mo. Kasi imagine, binago mo lahat. Binago mo yung work experience mo, nagkaroon ka ng awards, nagkaroon ng achievement, hindi ka naman makontakt ng HR. Wala rin, di ba? Sayang din. That's why you have to update yung contact details niyo. Okay? And the last question is just a trivia. Trivia lang, palaisipan. Why is this called jobs180.com? This is called jobs180.com because we want to turn your life around 180 degrees. And in case you're wondering, no, to raise a concern, bakit hindi po 360? Kasi pag 360 degrees, you only go back to where you started. Ikot ka lang na ikot, wala kang pupuntahan. Diba? Bumabalik ka lang kung saan ka galing. O ha? O, diba? Char-char lang yan. Okay? So, anyways, again, kung meron pa kayo ibang questions, just in case you have questions, okay, you may send those questions here through our website, www.jobs180.com. You can also email us or email me here sa info@jobs180.com. You can like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, pati na rin sa TikTok. Okay? So, check us out on all our social media platform. Okay? Again, my name is Kim Chua. Don't forget the wa. Okay? Isang magandang araw po sa inyo lahat. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much for that, Sir Kim. But unfortunately, guys, Sir Kim can't be with us today for the question and answer portion. But nevertheless, thank you so much, Sir Kim, for joining us today and for introducing to us the resume link of jobs180.com. And students, if you would like to know more about resume link or if you have questions for Sir Kim, you can email him at info@jobs180.com or you may visit facebook.com/jobs180. So we surely know now how to apply for jobs using the resume link, which is also very convenient for you students as you become job seekers later on. So now let's learn more to our next topic. So our second speaker will be presenting two topics, which is the building an innovative mindset and maximizing the best of both worlds, most of the challenges and expectations of working in a hybrid setup. So Mr. Franklin Augusto Barrameda, or Sir Gutsy, is the Cebu Hub leader of Synchrony Philippines, responsible for leading employees, engaging with stakeholders, and driving key business strategies. With 21 years of industry leadership, he has held roles at Sykes Asia, Emerson Electric Asia, RealPage Philippines, and Tech Mahindra Philippines, where he last served as a Cebu site leader, managing 2,500 employees and overseeing global service operations. So he holds an executive MBA from the Asian Institute of Management and degrees in marketing at Far Eastern University and human resource and development management at University of San Jose Recoletos. A proud Cebuano, Sir Gutsy enjoys scuba diving and traveling with his wife and 3 kids. So let us all welcome the Senior Vice President of Operations of the Cebu Hub leader, Mr. Franklin Augusto Barrameda.
Thank you, Joanne. Thank you, Kim, for this wonderful opportunity. Um, before I begin, I'd like to thank or at least give my heartfelt thanks to Cebu Normal University, its faculty, its students, and Jobs180.com for granting us this wonderful opportunity. I will be going through a lot of slides today, probably about 30 to 40 minutes. I will be talking about it from 3 different perspectives. One is knowledge, understanding the theories behind it. Number 2 is practicality, how we can apply it as an individual. And the third one would be as an executive leader, how this kind of mindset would set us apart. So, Joanne, if you want me to go ahead and get started, I'll go ahead and do that.
Yes, sir. I think your presentation is up. I'll see you after your talk po, Sir Gutsy. Good luck po. See you later.
Thank you so much. So, Soto, we can go to the next slide and show a quick video.
At Synchrony, you have the ability to make a real impact. Be an impact on our customers, on our community, on our colleagues.
Having workplace flexibility is a benefit I did not know I needed. But wow, it has really made a positive impact in my life.
The flexibility I have in leading my team and being effective and adding value to the organization while also being able to have my son spend time with his grandparents.
I am able to bring my full, authentic self each and every day.
People are innovative, they are inspiring, people are always willing to help.
This is a company where you truly can be yourself. And in doing that, we believe you fuel unbelievable innovation, collaboration, and deep and meaningful connection. I hope you'll join us and become a part of the Synchrony family.
All right. Thank you. Let's just going through a little bit about Synchrony, who we are. We are a premier consumer financial services company delivering one of the most complete digitally enabled product suites. We connect people, businesses, and with the financial products that they need where they want them to be through a diverse set of financing solutions and innovative digital capabilities to adjust specific needs across various industries, including digital, health and wellness, retail, home, auto, and more. On our next slide, we want to talk about our footprint. Sorry, our digital footprint. So when you talk about Synchrony Global Services Philippines, we are a subsidiary company that manages Synchrony's contact center operations and select back office support group. We have two locations in the Philippines, that is in Muntinlupa and in Cebu City. We help businesses and customers achieve their unique ambitions with over 90 years of experience. And we are leaders in financing major consumer purchases and elective healthcare, and the largest provider of private label credit cards in the United States. So our presence globally is 29 hubs or 29 locations. That is 5 in the US, or 22 in the US, 5 in India, and 2 in the Philippines. This extensive network ensures that we're available to support our clients and customers across significant portions of our globe. I talked about our history. We have 90 plus years of history. Over the years, we've amassed a history full of growth, evolution, and success. Today, we boast about 70 million active customers, 18,000 dedicated employees worldwide, and our enduring presence and growth underscore our commitment to meeting and the evolving needs of our customers and industries we serve. Not only are we globally present, we are also a great place to work. Just recently, last week, we got another Great Place to Work award, third year in a row. We're the number one great place to work for in the Philippines, number two in the US, number two in India. So, as a company in itself, our culture is a testament of really caring, fostering an environment where employees are supported, empowered to do their best work. And a tangible manifestation of this is our commitment to recognition across the regions, highlighting our dedication to creating a supportive and empowering workplace. So our executive vice president DJ mentioned earlier about our diversity. So we do have diversity networks. We have 6 in the Philippines, fostering an inclusive environment where everyone would feel or should feel valued and empowered. And as we move forward to our presentation today, I invite you to see these elements not just as part of Synchrony identity, but pillars that supports our drive to success in the financial services industry. Our dedication to excellence and commitment to diversity and inclusivity, and our passion to serving our customers' needs have positioned us as a leader in the field. Today, let's explore together how these elements come to life and how they can inspire all of us to lead forward, both professionally and personally. So we will skip the video. I'll just go ahead and start with my actual presentation. So Joanne, thank you very much for your kind introduction, but it's really a pleasure to be here today. I want to make sure that at least if you can go back to one slide, please. Okay, there you go. I wanted to at least talk to you about who I am first and what I bring to the table. So, my name is Gutsy Barrameda. My formal name is Franklin Augusto, but I go by Gutsy because of my general attitude in life. I currently have the immense privilege of serving as the Senior Vice President of Operations for Synchrony Global Services Philippines. Joanne mentioned that I do have 2 decades plus of experience in the BPO and shared services industry. And while it is a significant aspect of who I am, it's just one piece of the puzzle. Off the corporate stage, I am a family man, heart and soul. This year, my loving wife and I will be celebrating our 19th wedding anniversary, and together we are proud parents of three remarkable children. As a family, our passion for travel shapes many of our fondest memories. So each year, we aim to explore at least a few countries and immersing ourselves with diverse cultures, cuisines, and experiences. When we're not traveling, you can find us in the golf course, possibly scuba diving or enjoying the beach. That's why we moved to Cebu, because that really allows us to be our authentic self, where we're best, where we're happiest, and simply making memories. Outside of my corporate and family life, I am a board of director for six charities, an orphanage, a birthing center, a home for violence against women and children survivors, a school, and most recently a hospital who caters to the underprivileged members of our society. I'm also a passionate leader who actively seeks opportunities to train future leaders of our country. That's why I'm excited to be part of this session and hopefully be able to inspire some of you to be the change we want to be for our families, our communities, and our country. So now let's get back to why we're here today. I want to take you through some stories, lessons from both my work and personal experiences. And with this, I ask everyone to dive in with an open mind and shared goal to learn, lead, and succeed together. So we're going to discuss a general theme today, of not just being ready for change, but also being the catalyst of it. I will be discussing two topics, which, while seemingly unrelated, I will tell you it fits right into that change mindset. So let's gear up for a session full of insights, real talk, and maybe a few light bulb moments. And thanks for being here and being you. And let's make this conversation count. So for my first slide, I wanted to talk about. Can you move to the next slide? Thank you. So for my first topic, what is an innovative mindset? I'm sure you can easily Google what innovative mindset is. So that's the theory or the theology behind that. However, innovative mindset is really a way of thinking that embraces creativity, curiosity, and problem solving and adaptability. It is what separates the average person from the winner. It is not having the victim mindset where things just happen to me, but having a victor mindset where I see challenges as an opportunity. They say that you can't have a testimony without going through a test. So I would say the greatest testimonies in life comes from the greatest tests. So first, how do we build an innovative mindset? If you go to the next slide, so these are some of the importances of having an innovative mindset. It's essentially a frame of mind, okay? A frame of thought that prioritizes creativity, experimentation, and adaptability. It's characterized by several key attributes. Um, First is the willingness to change the status quo. Having an innovative mindset is not just accepting that this is what life is, but actually trying to see and experience or at least explore other ways of doing the same exact thing, but maybe faster, better, and cheaper. Individuals with innovative mindset do not accept current methods and practices as the best way to do things. They question the existing frameworks and are always on the lookout for more efficient, effective, and impactful approaches. So, in a business standpoint, you really want to have um, at least an ability to drive continuous improvement. So, I know you do it this way right now, but what else can we improve? Maybe 1% improvement day in, day out would spell the difference that in 100 days, you would actually be able to double your output and double your productivity. We want to encourage adaptability. When we talk about adaptability, it's not just about being able to accept change, but actually being able to direct change. it's not enough for us to just accept things for what it is. But as human beings with the ability to think, with the ability to impact others, we have to encourage adaptability. So adapting with the current situation and finding a way to be better. So how do we do that? Innovative mindset allows us to enhance our problem solving capability. So when we talk about problem solving, innovations fosters a solutions oriented approach, helping individuals find better and more effective or efficient ways to overcome challenges. I remember one time when we were listening to somebody taking or trying to solve a problem because of a bug in the system. They've been looking for a workaround on how to fix something, or at least they just try to do things this way. It takes them about 5 to 10 minutes every single time to do it that way. But when we actually looked at it and asked, what else can we improve here? Saan ka ba nahihirapan? What is the pain point when you do this particular item? Then the employee mentioned, hey, if we can just change this one thing, it would allow me to do my job better, faster. We actually took the time to look at it, look at the problem, and actually fixed it within 24 hours. After 24 hours, not only did we were we able to fix that person's difficulty when providing a solution to our customer, but we were able to, because of that fix, 4,500 of our employees didn't have to go through that same exact issue or that same exact problem every single day. Sorry, every single time and every single phone call. So what ended up happening is that we were able to increase our productivity exponentially. And that's just because of a one idea, an idea where you don't just accept things, but you actually try to fix things. So next would be openness to taking calculated risk. So when I talk about calculated risk, it's about cost and the benefit. How much um, how much do I need to spend in order for me to do this? And what would be the benefit for me? Is the investment worth it? So by having that kind of mindset, you also allow yourself to actually check whether something is feasible, something makes sense. But you won't be able to do that without actually trying something. So when you do try, the problem with trying is sometimes you also fail. And this is actually where I think where we can improve the most, because a lot of times people think as failure as an endpoint, as a parang something that we have to accept. But the reality is, when you look at it, prosperity is not having a lot of money or having a lot of things. Prosperity is having an innovative mindset and ability to actually get up from the failure. The richest people that I know have failed a million times. Think about that. Uh, the richest people that I know who makes millions and millions of money every month are actually the same people that have experienced the most amount of losses in their lives before they actually made it and became rich. They have failed multiple times, but the thing that separates them from a regular person and becoming a winner was the acceptance of failure as a learning tool. So in companies, what we want to do is boost employee engagement and growth, but also being able to be there with them. Part of that engagement and growth is the ability to say that I am with you, that you will receive failures, or you would have some failures in your career, but we are here to take care of you. And I think that's where Synchrony makes the most value to our employees. Next would be strengthening collaborations and teamwork. This is where that safe environment, when we create a safe space for people to experiment, to look at new things, to drive improvement, is also through our collaboration and teamwork. We really share ideas, and we share diverse perspectives. So when we were talking about our diversity network, we have Asian, Hispanic, um, Black community, we have Pride, we have veterans, and so on. So when we bring all of those perspectives together, we're able to look at it from different perspectives, different ideas or different walks of life, and being able to at least look at the different ways that we can solve the same problem. So knowledge sharing and execution of ideas is really key to or essential for brainstorming. If we go to the next slide. All right. So we do have barriers to innovation. So I would look at this slide in two ways. The yellow one would be the excuses, and the black one, or the black on the right side, would be the um, solutions that we can look at, or how to do things. First one, we talked about it, the fear of failure. Many individuals hesitate to share ideas because they fear making a mistake or being judged. I remember as an extreme introvert, growing up, I hated having to present something. I hated having to stand up in front and actually talk about my ideas or talk about my presentation or my report. It is just something that I dread. Why? Because I fear that I would be judged if I do make a mistake. Similarly, I this speaking to you right now, whether virtually or in person, it gives me anxiety. It really makes me nervous. However, to me, it's not about failing. It's about, being able to add value to the next person. If I can just impact one or two or three of you during this particular session and help you, or at least inspire you, that failing is okay, and that I've already done my job. I've already allowed you to actually think of ways how to be better in life. So that's the reason why fear of failure is something that we give ourselves as an excuse. But honestly, once we embrace failure as a learning opportunity, we shift our mindset from failure is bad, to failure leads to improvement. That's actually when we can improve. So I mentioned earlier, I fear public speaking, but I do it anyway because honestly, that's the only way that I can improve. That's the only way that I'm able to speak with you or to you today, because I have tried to overcome that particular fear in myself. Number two, resistance to change. People tend to stick to familiar methods even when better alternatives exist. This is where we always say, um, outside of your comfort zone. You don't want to get out of that because ito na yung nakasanayan ko eh. I remember before becoming a senior vice president of operation and being where I'm at right now, I was born and raised in Paco, Manila. Paco, Manila is actually a public market in Manila, similar to Pasig. It's an area where life is hard, right? We live in the squatters area of Paco, where if you've ever been to that kind of area, it's really hard to get out of that. So to me, I sold barbecue on the street, worked as a waiter to pay for my college tuition, and in fact, my mom told me when I was saying, you know what, I will make it out of this place. You know, when I'm a little bit older, she was telling me, why do you want to dream of those kinds of things? Why can't you just be contented with what we're doing or where we're at in life? 'Di ba? Kasi she was telling me na being able to just sell barbecue on the street is fine. However, I had bigger ambitions. So instead of accepting change, I became adapted to it. I knew where I was coming from. We were not wealthy. We had a hard time paying for my school. However, I knew that being in an uncomfortable place or situation would actually help me grow and help me become stronger. So I developed a growth mindset. I cultivated an attitude where continuous learning and openness to new experiences is actually key. That's why I took up marketing in FEU. After that, I got my executive MBA in Asian Institute of Management. And then I took up additional courses here in Cebu, in USJR for human resource and development management. I still make sure that within a week, I would at least allot 4 to 5 hours per week to learn something new, to attend training. I'm currently part of the reserve forces or at least cadet in training for the reserve armed forces for our Air Force, and also in the process of taking another master's for innovation. So that's something that even at the age of almost 45, I still have to do. So as a young person about to enter into to work, I encourage you to have that growth mindset. Next would be lack of confidence. Some people and individuals may doubt their ability. I don't speak well in English. I don't do this. I don't present well. That's fine. I remember when I was still selling barbecue. It's very rare to hear anyone selling barbecue speak fluent English, right? But I tried. I knew what I didn't have, and I studied and I practiced and I made sure that I became I am open to change, and that allowed me to actually improve well enough that I'm able to take on leadership roles and become a senior vice president. So part of that is really creating a safe space for experimentation and feedback. So during that time, it's hard to get feedback. It's hard to be criticized or be told that I don't speak well. That's fine. Tell me where I don't, what part, right? And then I would try to improve on that. So that help or that criticism, I turned it into an opportunity for me to improve. A lot of time, people will say, "Oh, I have time constraints. I do this, I do that. I just don't have the time for that." For me, understanding that time is actually where you show what your priorities are, right? Um, so it doesn't matter how busy you are. I'm sure you would be able to find time for the things that you really want to do. So encourage what we do is encourage cross team collaboration, because instead of doing it myself, I do it with others. I make sure that we instead of doing it as me or I would do it with a team that would greatly exponentially improve my ability to be able to do things faster, better, and sometimes cheaper. So instead of saying I don't have time, I look for time. Next would be the siloed thinking. So when we talk about siloed thinking, it's about just really focusing on yourself and sometimes focusing on egos. As a leader, as an employee, it's very hard to deal with people that have huge egos, and they just want to do it their way. Again, with Synchrony, we try to have diverse perspectives to make sure that we're able to find the right solution, not just for one person, but also for that works for the most number of people. So lastly, as a barrier, limited support and resources. Sometimes we take on that victim mindset that, wala kasing nagtuturo sa akin eh, or wala nag-guide sa akin, or this and that. But the reality is, without proper encouragement from leadership, innovative efforts can stall. So what we try to do here in Synchrony is really help encourage people and support people, sponsor people in order for them to be creative and to have that ability to really embrace that innovative mindset or problem solving, or solutions finding meetings. We also leverage on innovation programs. We provide training and designing thinking, agile methodologies, and emerging technologies. So those are the things that we constantly provide our employees. If we go to the next page, here are some key traits of an innovative mindset. You question everything. Just because something is being done this way doesn't mean that it cannot be changed. Think of Nokia, think of BlackBerry. They were the giants before with telco or with telecommunication. However, with the advent of iPhone and Samsung, they were dethroned, and now they're barely making it. Okay. So just because it has worked for you before doesn't mean that it will work today. Always be curious and ask questions, and seek better solutions. Number two, you would know if you have an innovative mindset, if you have resilience, learning from your failures and not letting failure be the end of you, or be the end of you trying, but constantly keeping or keep improving, adapting and redefining ideas after setbacks. I remember before I was able to make it to the contact center industry, I applied to somewhere about 20 different companies who rejected me. But eventually, I was able to get in, and after getting in in 2020, sorry, in 2003, 22 years later, I'm still here. I'm thriving. I'm able to provide a good life for my family, and that is really because I didn't accept failure as the end, but I used failure as a jumping off point to learn something and to redefine ideas and be better from there. I also do collaboration a lot. I make sure that I seek help because I will not be an expert on everything. It is really not something that anyone can do, be an expert on everything. So I always make sure that I surround myself with innovative people who are ready to collaborate, leverage on diverse perspective and stronger ideas, whether it is my idea or somebody else's idea. If it works, that's how we want to do that. Next is going to be proactiveness. You want to be proactive. You have to take initiative to solve problems before they arise. So this is where we call it forward thinking. You think about the future. You think about what's going to happen in 1 to 2 years, maybe 3 to 5 years, and really try to understand how we can avoid those things. Um, as leaders, we also lead by example and propose solutions. And then lastly, customer centric, customer centric thinking. We focus on customers' needs to drive innovation or enhance experience and efficiency in every solution that we have. So we don't just try to do that. We embrace diversity. We make sure that we empower people. We learn from failures, and continuous learning is a way of life. As leaders, we are able to do this by showing our willingness to experiment and take calculated risks. So failure is part of that risk. We also share our experiences and lessons learned from both successes and failures. So that's the reason why I'm here. Hopefully, I'm able to help share some of my success and my failures as well and help you learn from that. And then last is encourage open communication and idea sharing at all levels. So it is very important that we do that because that will help improve us. That would help solutions thinking, and that would really bottom line help our chances to getting that promotion later on, to getting an advancement, and that's really what we want to do, to elevate people. If you look at the next slide, we have three points, or at least ways to see innovation in action. One would be AI driven solutions. So we enhance customer service and efficiency through AI driven solutions. Think about chatbot. Think about um, the AI like Chat GPT and so on that allows us to really be more efficient in doing things instead of having to do the steps. We're able to cut back on that and really just focus on the harder part of the job. Next would be the digital transformation, adapting new technology for better services. So almost every single company is really on the digital transformation um, journey right now. And then lastly would be employee driven innovation. And I think this is where majority of us can really be part of. Don't think of yourself as I'm just this, or I'm just this part of my level is still really really low. Every single person within the organization can be part of the solution. I remember hearing a story before where they have a problem in school where lady or the women would be kissing the the mirror in the bathroom every single day, and it's very difficult to remove lipstick, and they had a problem about that. They tried to look for solutions, put signboards and so on, but they wouldn't, or they were unable to fix the solution. One day, as a janitor, or the janitor actually gave a solution to the principal, and the principal allowed the janitor to fix it. So the janitor, feeling empowered, went to the bathroom, or to the ladies' bathroom, and showed how he fixed that. He dipped the towel on the toilet and then cleaned the lipstick on the mirror with that dirty water. With the students being able to see that, they now realize they shouldn't be doing that, and that essentially stopped all of the lipstick on the mirror. So that's just an idea, or at least an example of what an employee driven innovation looks like. Sometimes you don't need a highfalutin solution. Sometimes you just need basic common sense. So That's really the innovation in action that we have for you, or at least the innovative mindset. Um, I will be taking questions later on, but I'll go ahead and jump into the next topic for today: challenges and expectation of a working hybrid in or working in a hybrid setup. So I'm sure you guys have already heard of hybrid setup. We've also done that in academe, where we had for during the pandemic, where we had online classes, and I don't know if you still do that right now, but with Synchrony, we still continue to have a hybrid setup where our employees are able to work from home, like what I'm doing right now, and sometimes be available in the office depending on the requirement. So in our office, we are required to at least be in the office or physically in the office 1 or 2 times a month. But because I enjoy going to the office, I'm there at least 2 to 3 times a week. But I'll go ahead and discuss some of the challenges. So, what is a hybrid setup? It's a mix of remote and in-office work. It allows employees flexibility while maintaining an office presence, but at the same time being able to be present at home as well. Why is it important? To me personally, it offers work-life balance. It means I'm able to work, be productive, but at the same time be present for my kids. I'm a hands-on dad. I bring them to school. I pick them up from school, and I like spending time with them. So having that flexibility is really, really important to me. It also boosts my productivity and employee satisfaction. So we call it the new way of working. So in Synchrony, we allow people to choose whichever setup works best for them. So whether at in the office or at home, as long as it boosts productivity, that's all what we would ask from our employees, and that generates employee satisfaction. Think of winning the Great Place to Work award, or Great Place to Work award for the last 3 years in a row. It also helps businesses adapt to changing needs. A few weeks ago, we had an incident in the office where we had to evacuate. But because majority of our employees are already working from home, it allows us to immediately deploy everybody to go home and work from home at that particular time and the day after, and we barely skipped a beat. So that's the resilience in the adapting environment that we do have. The current trends in hybrid work, many global companies have adopted hybrid models. Employees expect more flexibility post-pandemic. So before, everybody just thinks of if you're at work, you should be at work physically. But now we are now living in a post-pandemic world where we're able to actually have some flexibility, and businesses tend to adjust policies for sustainability. So that is what a hybrid setup work is, and I'll talk about some of the challenges. So, key challenges of a hybrid work setup. Unlike before, where I can just walk the hallway, I'll see everybody. I will be able to talk to anyone, whether my associates, my employees, my leaders, or my bosses. Right now, the challenges of that is really the communication and collaboration. It's hard to communicate outside of the meetings. So normally, if I want to talk to somebody, if we're both working remotely, I would have to set it up as a meeting, put it in the calendar, have an agenda, send that agenda. And then once we have a meeting, we talk about that particular thing. We don't normally talk about life or anything else other than what is already on the agenda, because we're both busy, and that tends to happen a lot. So after the agenda, we're happy if we finish our meeting early, and then we go about our day. But while again that offers flexibility for me, because during in between meetings, I can answer emails, I can do my research, I can do my report. The At the same time, collaboration is actually lacking during that particular time. So that's the reason why 2 to 3 times a week I do by choice go to the office so that I can have in-person meeting, communication, just really connecting with our employees. And we do have connection days that allows us to really be intentional and purposeful when we do meet with our employees. Next is gonna be performance management. Working remotely, unlike before, where I can actually physically see if people are working or if they are sleeping, or they're over break and so on, maintaining productivity and accountability is actually more difficult nowadays. We struggle in balancing our workloads between remote and in-office work, challenges in tracking performance and engagement, and the risk of proximity bias, where if I meet with people constantly and this is the person that I tend to talk to more and so on, then that becomes that that is probably seen as a favoritism. So whether from a perspective of an employee where that could be seen as favoritism, or it's an actual favoritism on my end where, you know what, if I have a problem, this is the person that I can talk to or that I can run into or I can depend on, because that person is always there. So we run the risk of having that. Next would be technology and security risks. So obviously, unlike before, where we actually have a secured working environment, now we have to make sure that the security is not only on your computers or the physical space, like an office. Now we're trying to secure the homes of our employees, making sure that they have a conducive working environment, where none of our data would be leaking. So we have to take care of that too. And then lastly, employee engagement and company culture. With Synchrony, employee engagement and company culture is key to our existence. It's our way of life, and that's one of those things that you tend to lose when you have remote people and not being able to get them together, get having everybody to get to know each other, and really having that deep connection. So feeling isolated is an issue. I remember during pandemic when I was working from home, I do feel isolated. I do feel like I don't have the support and so on and so forth, because really sometimes when I'm going through something, there's not that friend that I can just pull into where I can just talk to them about, about life, about what I'm going through. And sometimes I also need the encouragement to be able to do that. It's a good thing that, Synchrony prides itself to making sure that it is a way of life. It is not an option for us, to make sure that we engage our employees. We have connection day. We have a strong company culture that allows us to really be flexible and adaptable in this new working environment. And then if we move to the next slide, best practices. So while I was discussing the challenges, I did allude to some of the best practices that we do have. So some of the key best practices here would be setting clear expectation for work schedules. So not only the work schedules, but also the results that we want to have, the productivity that we need as leaders. We make sure that that's part of what we put on their scorecard, what we expect from them. We do have regular coaching and so on and so forth that allows us to really be engaged with everyone's productivity, their work schedule, and availability. So we establish results driven approach rather than focusing on how many hours a person have worked. We also foster a culture of trust and open communication. So this is when we do our daily stand-ups. We contact our employees, making sure that we understand what they're going through, what is happening with their life, and so on and so forth. That allows us to better position, work-related stuff as well. And then lastly would be, we encourage a balance of between remote and in-office presence, and then invest in our employee well-being to prevent burnout. That's a lot. Okay. So let me walk you through some of my key takeaways. So what we can do to get ahead as leaders, as employees, or as individuals. We have 6 core values in Synchrony where we actually try to live by on a day-to-day basis. So whether it is thinking innovatively or having that innovative mindset, or just working from home, we have 6 core values that we really tried our best to live by every day. Um, we try to be bold. We are proactive in seeking new ways of effective communication, and part of that is workflow management that bridge the gap between remote and in-person work setups. That means whether you are remotely working or working in the office, we give everybody the same exact chance to be able to produce the best output. We are passionate, we cultivate a passion of flexibility and adaptability. So the hybrid model offers unique opportunities for work-life balance. It embraces and advocates for practices that enhances both productivity and personal well-being. We're very responsible. We need to make sure that we own our part in upholding team dynamics. So it is not just the leader's part to do that, but it's a corporate culture that we are responsible for. It is important we ensure our contribution and engagements reflect the commitment, irrespective of whether we're physically at work or working remotely. We are honest. We maintain open lines of communication regarding what's working and what's not. This is where we talk about the challenges and we have a solutions mindset instead of just a victim mindset. We receive honest feedback and provide honest feedback because it's essential to refining a hybrid work policies and tools. We are very driven. We're self-motivated. It is crucial for a hybrid setup, proactive and driven. We cultivate discipline and use technology to remain connected and productive, regardless of where we are. And lastly, and most importantly, we are caring. Remember that empathy and support plays a significant role in a hybrid work environment. So we recognize these challenges and limitations that our colleagues might face and offer assistance in advance and understanding. So that is everything that I wanted to talk to you guys about today. I hope you picked up one or two things during this conversation, and I'm now happy to take on any questions you may have. Joanne?
Yes, thank you so much for that, Sir Gatsino. Kahit ako, I really learned a lot with your topic today. And students, if you have questions to Sir Gatsi, feel free to type them in the comment section because I believe Sir Gatsi can also understand Bisaya. So if you're shy to type your questions in Tagalog or maybe in English, feel free to type them in Bisaya. Or maybe I can translate it also kahit hindi naman ako ganun ka-fluent in Bisaya. Gaya nga ng sinasabi ko always, kasabot ra ko pero dili ko kasulti, di ba? So, sir, while we are waiting for the questions of our student, I have here some questions. Medyo mix-mix na po siya, sir, sa building innovative
Okay.
mindset and a work hybrid setup. So, the first question po, sir, is do you have an advice on what daily habits or practices that can help someone develop an innovative mindset po?
I like what you said, habit, right? Daily habit. It's not something you would just wake up and have an innovative mindset. In fact, it is said that we're creatures of habits. Depending on what habit you've built, you're either going to be successful or you're going to fail in life or your relationship or what have you. So creating that habit. So first you have to choose. We have 3 Ds for that. You first have to decide who you want to be. Okay. So from that decision, I want to be successful. In this case, let me translate it to where everybody can relate. I want to be rich. When I was starting in life, I had one goal. I wanted to be rich. I hated being poor. I hated having to stand in the heat or in the rain, having to sell barbecue and waiting for customers to actually come in and not knowing if I'm going to be able to sell things or not. I hated the fact that I couldn't afford basic things in life, right? So I decided that I wanted to be rich. Next is I have to declare, right? So from deciding, I had to declare. I declared that I'm gonna be rich. Ang sabi sa akin ng nanay ko, nabuang ka anak, right? Masyado kang ambisyoso and so on and so forth. And I said, you know what? Declaring is part of it because the reality is if you don't declare it, you won't be able to do it. You won't do it, period. Sometimes we declare it nga, oh, mag-workout ako, magda-diet ako, and we still don't do it. So just imagine if you don't declare or you don't decide to do that. So from deciding who I wanted to be to declaring it to my family that this is what I'm gonna do to actually delivering it. So decide, declare, and deliver. So what is delivery? I made a choice that I will do this. I studied in the morning. I sold barbecue in the afternoon, and then I waited tables at night until mga 3, 4 a.m. Then I wake up at 7 and so on and so forth. Then I do the whole routine. Pag weekends, I work sa Manila Diamond Hotel. as a waiter on weekends. So I decided to do it. I declared to do it, and I actually did it. So the innovative mindset there is actually being able to say, you know what, instead of looking at all of my excuses why I would not be able to finish school, I use all of those opportunity to challenge myself and to actually power through it. Now when I have stress at work, I sometimes laugh about it because what is stressful is when I was still selling barbecue. That is stress, not being able to know when my next meal would be, right? Nothing about my work is stressful because I get paid to do it. I'm able to provide a good life for my family. And the more I love my work, the more my work loves me. So that's the innovative mindset in a work setting, so to speak.
Yes, thank you so much for answering that question, Sir Gatsy. That was really inspiring, and we really get it why your job loves you because of that mindset that you have. And I agree to you also that it's about manifesting, but of course still doing our part also. So yes, sir, this is my next question naman po. How do you overcome fear of failure or rejection when you are trying to be more innovative in life?
You just do it. Don't give yourself an excuse, right? I'm afraid of speaking in public or standing in front. In fact, when I was in high school or college, you would never see me present anything. I like to think of myself as the brain and not the face. So I always have somebody else present it, but I would be the one creating the presentation and doing all sorts of stuff. But nowadays, actually, nowadays, 2025, I am going out of my comfort zone and actually accepting gigs like this, like talking to you, right? This is our second session. This really scares everything. I'm scared to do this, but I won't improve if I don't do it, right? So I'm very appreciative that you guys allow me to do these things that I'm able to, to give back to the community, help our future leaders. But would I fail? Yes. There are times in my presentation earlier where I thought of myself, I was talking to myself, you're going too fast. You're going too slow. You're going too fast. So that inner conversation was happening real time while I was presenting. So was I failing? Yes. Was I improving? I hope so. But I won't improve until I do so. So that's part of that. So how do I challenge myself to overcome fear? Just do it. Don't give yourself an excuse not to do it.
Yes, I agree also to that, sir. No, that's more better. It's more better to fail than to have regrets in life. Sabi nga nila. So my next
Mhm.
question po, sir, I believe that it's really suited for you. So how do you maintain an innovative mindset, sir, in a fast-paced or high-pressure environment?
How do I maintain that innovative mindset? It's an exercise. Again, it's not a muscle that you just happily wake up one day that you have. It's a muscle that you have to train. So even in smallest things, with my family, we try our best to look at it from a different mindset. Like, okay, how do we do this? What are the other options to doing it? And in a perfect world, so we have whenever we're driving to work or driving to school, my kids and I, we have a game, in a perfect world. So we ask ourselves, in a perfect world, how could this be done better? So from there, we look at solutions, we look at ways to do it differently, and from there, sometimes we get a good idea, and in fact, from that idea, I'm able to bring it to work and say, hey, you know what if we do it this way for our customers? What if we do it that way for our customers? Or maybe we can do coaching this way. So it's not about perfection, it's about consistency in improving. So we aim for 1% improvement every day. In a year, that would be 365% better than what you started with. So it's something you have to force yourself to do.
Yes, thank you so much for that, Sir Gatsy. I think the students are shy to ask their questions, but we have here one question na pumasok sa ating Facebook page. With the
Mhm.
hybrid topic naman po, sir, tanong niya lang ay what are some practical ways to deal with communication gaps in hybrid teams po?
You have to be proactive in communicating. because the thing that you lose during remote work is really the human factor. Um, so with a hybrid work, or at least with a remote working environment, you have very little chance to really get to know the person, right? And try to understand their quirks, why they do stuff, or and so on, right? So what I try to do, even with working remotely, is I start with the who, what, and the why. First is, who am I talking to, right? I try to get to know them. I try to get to know not only them as a human being, but them as a family person. What matters to them, right? Do they have a significant other, a spouse, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, or whatever? Kids, dogs, or whatever. So really try to understand the who, and then the what. What do they hope to achieve? What is their dream? What do they want to accomplish in their life? Because I don't I don't intend to give them a dream. I intend to help them achieve that dream. And then lastly would be the why. Why do you want it? Because sometimes, like for me, I want a six pack, right? I don't have one, but I do want one. Um, my why is I just want to look better. But that doesn't make sense with the busy schedule that I have. So that's my excuse not having one, because I don't have a strong enough why. I don't have a strong enough or a compelling reason to have it. But once I have a compelling reason to have it, then the commitment also happens. So I start with the who, what, and why. And even though we're working remotely, I'm able to really get to know the human side of it. And when we do get to meet each other, I make sure that I remember those things. So if you have a dog, I'll make sure to ask about your dog. If you have, if you like rock climbing, I'll ask you about those things. I at least would do my homework on what that means, what climbing is, what's fun about it, and what's not. That way, when I do meet you, I will have something to talk about. So it's being intentional with building that relationship.
Alright, thank you so much, Sir Gatsy. Kahit ako talaga, sir, I'm really learning a lot from this topic. And gusto man po namin kitang, gusto ko man po, hindi na ako marunong magsalita. Gusto man po kita i-hold back pa to ask more questions, but I will be asking my very last question na po, Sir Gatsy.
Mhm.
Yung last question ko lang po ay, what are some ways to maintain productivity without burning out? Of course, as someone who is working remotely, there are times na mas gusto natin na on-site tayo so that we can be able to talk to someone. But since we are working remotely, how can we stay or maintain productive po without burning out?
So the who, what, and why would also help there, right? It's not just for others, it's also for yourself. So who am I? I ask myself that. I make sure that I understand my identity. I understand what I like and what I don't like. Because if you put me in a situation where I constantly do not like it, it will make that burnout faster, right? So I understand who I am. I also try to understand my level of energy. There are days in a week where I'm really low energy. There are days in the week where I'm actually highest with my energy. So I make sure that I schedule my meetings or my productive time around that, because I know that I will be more effective that way. Sometimes your work won't allow that. And this is when you do the what. What is important to you? Your comfort or your happiness? Sometimes comfort and happiness, they might sound the same, but it's actually very different. Being comfort does not mean I'll be happy, right? I lie down to my bed and watch TV all the time. That's comfort to me. But am I happy? No, because I feel like I'm not able to do anything. I feel like I'm not able to explore life, and so on and so forth. So understanding the what is more important to me, comfort or happiness? So I choose happiness, which means I'll work hard, I'll work out, I'll make sure to make the most out of my time. And the why is really my family. I make sure that the things that I do, whether hard or not, I do it for my family. I choose to work hard for my family. That way, I'm able to give them the best possible future. So that sometimes resets my burnout, right? And if hindi gumagana yon, then magsha-shopping na lang ako. That also helps. Yeah.
Yes, thank you so much for that, Sir Gatsy. Or pag walang pang shopping, kahit connect with the nature na lang po muna for now, no?
Yes, beach is also a good way to do that.
Yes, I think that is our last question po, sir. Thank you so much po for joining us today po and sharing us your knowledge po on how to build an innovative mindset and how to maximize the best of both worlds. Again, thank you so much po, Sir Gatsy, and we wish to
Thank you.
have you po on our next set of webinars.
Thank you again. Bye bye.
Yes, thank you so much, Sir Gatsy, once again. And students, if you are interested in applying for a job at Synchrony, just visit jobs180.com/synchrony. And students, if you have additional questions, you can email him. You can email us at info@jobs180.com, or you may visit jobs180.com. So, wow. All I can say is that if this was my first time attending webinars like this would really help me in looking for jobs now. So, to our audience, thank you for attending, and we hope that what you have learned from this webinar will be useful to you to your journey to the world of work. And we hope that you enjoyed today's sessions too. By the way, I hope you guys are still there because your attendance will be flashed later on, which will be the evaluation link. So if you know someone na nag-leave na ng webinar natin, tell them to come back because wala pa po, hindi pa tayo nasa end ng ating program, hindi pa po natin napa-flash yung pinaka-important na attendance nyo. So again, if you have additional questions, don't hesitate to send us a message on our Facebook page, facebook.com/jobs180, or email us at info@jobs180.com. So we are at the end of the program, but before that, may we invite Dr. Jason A. Bustamante, the former Director of Student Affairs and Development Office, to give us the closing remarks.
Yes, good afternoon. Thank you so much, Ma'am Joanne. This has been always a very great opportunity, no, for Cebu Normal University, especially from the Student Affairs and Development Office, because you have been a very wonderful partner in terms of providing students the best opportunities and being the light that will guide them somehow as they enter the wonderful world of being an employee. I just really hope they would find it wonderful as a working individual compared to being a student. But of course, that's part of the transition of life. And what's the best thing now is that as they step into the world of working, they are guided already with a lot of options, and that they will be able to have this very good platform that will give them opportunity to start their career. And with that, Jobs 180 has always been a very good partner and an opportunity, giving of the giver of opportunity that will guide us. Can you imagine if a student freshly graduate and don't know where to go, whatever options they have, and then here's Jobs 180, who will offer you a lot of perspectives on what are you going to venture on. And we are very thankful for that. No, especially I would like to extend my warmest gratitude to the managing director, Mr. Kim Chua, to the rest of the team, Ms. Joanne, and for the past years, to our dear students, they have been helping us, no, for the past years, to the graduating students, and even for those, I think, even for those non-graduating, as long as you are 18 years old and above, you can already find jobs for part-time, di ba? And this is going to be a very good a different dynamics, once we become an employee, because we love the idea of earning as well to provide for ourselves, to our family. And we would love to have your first career step be begins by finding the best choices here at Jobs 180. And with that, as we put this undertaking to a close, this will not be the last time. This will still be continuous in the next years, and we just are very thankful for Jobs 180. And thank you also so much to the students who are here with us and for attending this undertaking, which only means that you are really your active engagement really means a lot. It means to say that you are really paying attention, and you are now focusing on a different path later on. And we also thank the Student Affairs and Development Office, to Miss Ivy, Miss Nizel, Miss Karen, Sir Ed, and the rest of the staffs that made this event wonderful. Thank you so much, everyone. Good afternoon. More power to Jobs 180, and thank you so much. Have a great day, everyone.
Yes, thank you so much, Sir Bustamante, for closing our event. So there you have it, guys. We are done with the talk proper and successfully tackled all the topics assigned for today's session. But do not forget to evaluate this event. So the link is flashed on your screen. You can also scan the QR code. The link is also available in the comment section. Again, guys, this will serve as your final attendance. So feel free to scan the QR code and access the link that is on the comment section. But thank you so much for attending and staying all throughout the event. We would also like to thank Miss Ivy, Dr. Bustamante, and the rest of the CNU. Thank you so much for your hard work and coordination in making this event a success. Your dedication and efforts were instrumental, and we are truly grateful for everything you've done. So we hope that we have imparted insightful things that would help you as you embark on your journey to the world of work. But again, students, we have we are happy to present to you your webinar e-certificate. So if you wish to have a copy of your webinar e-certificate, feel free to scan the QR code that is being flashed on your screen right now. The link is also available in the comment section. But there you have it, guys. Please watch out for the next set of webinars we are going to host for. And do not forget to check our Facebook page and do not hesitate to join our future sessions too. By the way, jobs180.com is also looking for an addition to our team. So for those of you who are interested, you can submit your resume link at jobs180.com/jobs180 or you may email us at info@jobs180.com. So malay nyo, kayo na ang susunod na host sa susunod na webinar ni CNU. But in conclusion, I want you to leave with this thought that your career is a journey and each day is an opportunity to build your path to success. So take what you've learned here today and use it as a stepping stone to reach your goals. Always remember, guys, that the key to a successful career is continuous learning, resilience, and passion for what you do. So go out there, pursue your dreams, and make a difference. Again, thank you so much for joining us, and I wish you all the best in your career building endeavors. So the program has been concluded. This is your host once again, Joanne, and we will see you soon. Don't forget to bring your umbrella when you go outside, and have a great day ahead.